Gather around, gather around. This is gonna get spicy, baby. You heard? I'm gonna let y'all get in the building. Let y'all get in the schmilding. Yeah, my G's. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Let me pull my playlist up. You heard? Let me make sure my playlist is the way it's supposed to be and I ain't got nothing in there twice by mistake. Okay, all right, all right. Okay. Sort. How can I sort this? I can sort this by album. All right. No, I can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. Title. It is what it is. But check it, right? Freddie Acevedo, I see you in the building. Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. If y'all can't hear me clearly, let me know so I could try to adjust my phone. I'm recording on 2 cameras right now. I'm in here testing this Canon camera that I got, seeing if it's built to do a podcast by itself while simultaneously going on live. You heard? So if my audio is low, let me know, baby. But I got 2 different subjects and topics I want to talk about, so I'm gonna have to do 2 separate lives. You heard? I'm gonna sign off after I finish talking this, and then I'm gonna sign back on again, most likely. You heard? But today, I'm here to talk about right now. I'm here to talk about my personal top 25 Jay Z songs now. You know, Jay Z put so much work in with the money talk. You heard money talk rhymes, getting money rhymes. Son put a lot of work in with that, and he put so much work in with money talk rhymes. He kind of got a reputation for not being so deep. You heard, or not being too much centered around conscious rap or whatever. But actually, Jay-Z done put together some mean joints. Damn, I just thought of one that I gotta add to this list. And I'm gonna have to take something off, bro. I'm gonna have to take something off. Hold on, let me see. Give me 1 minute. Damn. What's the name of this song, bro? Hold on. What's the name of the song? What's the name of the song where Jay-Z is talking like he on the stand in the courtroom? What's the name of that song? Cause I'm bugging out. I ain't gonna lie, I made this playlist kind of in a rush, thinking I just knew my top 25 Jay-Z songs like that. But I honestly, this should be top 50 Jay-Z songs, because it's kind of hard to narrow them down to 25 songs. Dope, man. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Chaz. I should have had I need reading glasses nowadays. Yours? Chazo, appreciate you, dope man. Appreciate you, Sean Harris, dope man, and whoever else said it. Let me add that to the list. Something gonna have to come up off here. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Cause that right there, I didn't see that when I was looking at what are they doing? Like, they got the album. Hold on, something gonna have to go. Let me just get something out of here. Let me get something out of here. And I'm gonna tell you, this list that I made. Now listen, it's a lot of big Jay-Z songs. All right, I'm gonna have to get this out of here. It's a lot of big Jay-Z songs, bro. So this is not in no particular order. This is not in a particular order. I'm not saying what's the number one, my number one Jay-Z song. I might say I might let y'all know what my number one or two is, but overall, the playlist in itself is not in order. Let's make that understood, because I don't want y'all dudes to be like, yo, but Laz, how you gonna say such and such is better than such and such? I'm not saying that at all. I'm just naming 25 random, the top 25 best Jay-Z songs in my opinion, randomly, and I could have made a mistake and left out major content, because some put out a lot of content. I could have left out a major song or two. So I need y'all to let me know if I left out some songs that shouldn't be left out. But before I tell y'all that, I need to tell y'all it's a lot of collabs that Son did. And I got a few of those collabs on this playlist, but I tried to keep it not so many collabs. You heard, to be fair. Because it's unfair when, in our era, it was unfair when, you got a million crazy power collabs. Of course your power collabs are going to destroy other people's stuff. But I'm talking about mostly 80% yo shit. 85% yo shit dolo is how you really judge an artist with their song creation, right? You heard? Good Garments on deck, you heard? Good Garments on deck. Go to goodgarmentsnyc.com. Big birds on deck like motherfucking Sesame Street at all times. You already know that's just one of my designs right there. You see the bird got the iced out. Nah, it ain't iced out. The bird got the solid gold piece of bread on a chain. You heard? With the GGNYC hat on. Flying through these New York City streets. You heard? But I got the shirts and the hoodies with that design on the website, man. So, you know what I mean? Go to goodgarmentsnyc.com. Get some good garments on your armpits. You already know, LAZ. But, yeah, my nigga, AKA Trano. I'm going to get the Trano shirt soon. Joints that just say Trano. You heard? With the train behind me. But, all right, so I'm like I said, I tried to keep it 85%, just Jigga. I don't like the way they ordering this playlist right now. All right, so boom, check this out, right? This is my best, I don't want to say favorite Jay-Z songs. I mean top 25 that I feel is the most potent songs Son ever made in the world in his career, right? Check it. The Evils. Woo! The Evils. We used to fight for building blocks. Now we fight for blocks with buildings that make a killing. Woo! He never learned, so in turn, I'm kidnapping his baby's mother. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. That shit was creepy. That was a creepy hip-hop lesson right there. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Think Premier did that beat. Mistake, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think DJ Premier did that beat. Yes. But the Evils, oh my God. Now I'm trying to rock his bitch to sleep. Whoo! The reality of that record. When you heard that shit, when you heard the Evils, that shit took you into Marcy Projects on a rainy day when nobody is outside but a few niggas that happen to be scheming on something real treacherous. You heard? That was a serious record, bro. Codename Monts, I see you in the building. Know the ledge was pad. You heard? I'm gonna get to these yarments in a minute. I'm gonna check these yarments. But that was a crucial violatory. That song was just so crazy. The Evils. What made you want to get up with a nigga like DJ Premier and make some shit? Glom, 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 glom. That shit painted a whole different perspective on street life when you heard that song. Dead Presidents. Now, you know it's two versions to Dead Presidents, so we got to count them as one song because both of them is bananas. You heard, like, Let's Keep It Real. A lot of y'all niggas never heard the other Dead Presidents. Y'all only heard that one version of it. Y'all ain't really hear the other version. And both of them shits is to the point where you can't really decide which one is the best one. Both of them is bananas, bro. You heard? Both of them is bananas, so it's hard to decide. But Dead Presidents, oh, come on. Whose word? I'm out for presidents to represent me. Get, I'm out for presidents to represent me. Get, that shit was crazy. When we heard that on the Uptown side block, he got his side sprayed up. If you ain't never see that interview I did with the legendary DeHaven, who am I talking about? I'm high, my nigga. DeHaven. You're mixing Jay-Z. Y'all niggas is like one entity, my nigga. DeHaven, I'm sorry. You and Jay-Z is like one entity, my nigga. DeHaven. That's y'all niggas together. DeHaven. But I mean, if you never seen my interview with the legendary DeHaven from Marcy, he speaks about this song. He sat on the Uptown sides block. He got his side sprayed up. You heard? But they even talked about how he got shot. Him and Jay-Z was in Harlem. You heard? Making some moves. He got shot. You heard? He was on the ground bleeding. You heard? It was crazy. But when I first heard these rhymes, you know, they were so descriptive that I had to be like, this can only be a fictional tale because it's too movie-ish. You heard? My man said, pray for me. I said, I'll do you better and slay each one of these niggas faithfully. Say murder is a slow process. Forgot I don't want to start fucking up bars, but I ain't got nothing but time. You heard? But listen, watch that Me and DeHaven video, and he breaks it down, some of these legendary lyrics from Dead Presidents. I hope it's in that interview we did, because me and DeHaven had a couple of conversations. So I hope that's in the interview that we did, where he talk about on the Uptown's hot block, he got his side sprayed up. But make sure you type in that St. Laz and DeHaven, aka DeHaven. Let me stop. You heard? But make sure you check that St. Laz and DeHaven interview, because it's legendary. Yes. But yeah, my G's, Dead Presidents. Crazy. Like when that came out, I heard it on a mixtape. I was up chop. You heard? I was in the same dorm with the bro Saquon. Shout out to the bro Saquon. I was up in the same dorm with Saquon, I think, when I heard that Dead Presidents on a good DJ Clue mixtape. You heard? I was like, I think it was a Clue mixtape. I was like, oh my God. I said, oh my God. Jay-Z's losing his mind in those streets of New York. You heard? That Nas influence was in them streets heavy. Niggas was stepping up their game lyrically. Niggas poetry and poetic game stepped up bananas when Nas came into the game and uploaded his motherfucking files on the rap game. All of a sudden, niggas got real crazy on them lyrics. You heard? Next joint on the list. Jay-Z and Memphis Bleek, Coming of Age. Like, you know, Bleek done went on podcast and said that Jay-Z wrote his verses for these songs and all of that. You heard, like a real nigga, he kept it official. But, you know, those songs were so bananas. The way they depicted the mentality of an up-and-coming drug dealer and a big ballin' drug dealer ass nigga from the motherfucking projects of Brooklyn, you heard, that's ready to just get busy and get this money and take this gun shit to the next level. Like, that song painted a real picture of, you know, urban mentality, you know, super ghetto, you know, ghetto slums mentality. That joint painted a real picture. You heard? It was crazy. And then the next song that I'm going to talk about. And then listen, before I go there, you know, when we first heard Memphis Bleek for the first time on that song, you know, Bleek sounded so Brooklyn and so young and hungry in Brooklyn. He kind of became like the voice for all the motherfucking young gunners in motherfucking Brooklyn, like all the young thugs. He kind of became the voice, the sound of the young thug. A lot of niggas was sounding like Memphis Bleek, not just Jay-Z. We all know Jay-Z had a bunch of people sounding like him. His influence on the game was so superior. I don't think there's ever been anybody in the history of the rap game whose style, maybe Pac, but aside from Pac, whose style made niggas basically imitate. I don't even think more than Pac. It was so many dudes that sounded like Jay-Z, bro. And dudes wasn't necessarily doing it on purpose. It was that his influence on the game was so strong. It made people want to rap like him. Dudes ain't even realize they was sounding just like Hove. Even me, I done listened to some of my old songs and I'm like, nah, I was Hovey. I was a little too Hovey on that song right there. You heard? Sometimes I listen back to that old Laz and I listen to some of them bars and I was like, yo, that nigga Hove had you fucked up, son. You heard? You was getting Hovey. You needed to turn down that Hove dial for, you was in there talking about all type of shit like, you heard? I'm saying all type of cocky lines. My shit in the project starving. I'm like this, nigga cocksucker. Don't scratch the rose, cocksucker. You heard? Don't make a mistake and scratch the Bentley. You heard? Hove had niggas fucked up. You heard? So it was a lot of niggas who had major influence. They was majorly influenced by Hove, bro, and they just, they didn't know it. But Coming of Age Part 2, the sequel to that was crazy. Now these niggas got a song on how, niggas done been in the game for a little while now. Now this nigga tired of being a little young flunky. He ready to come up and take position. Nigga, what the fuck? You trying to stop me from coming up? You heard? Like, that song was deep, bro. That Coming of Age 2, like, this is the streets. Like, Son was making songs that really, really put you in a movie, my nigga. You heard? Shout out to my bro Bugs from Howie. One of his stories on my channel that he did, crazy story. I was just telling him a little while ago that shit really could be made into a movie, and I might have to sit down and write a screenplay with that shit. So I'm gonna need some more information and all of that. But that story, shout out to bro Bugs. Type in St. Laz Bugs, Boogz, and 5 or 6 good guys will pop up. You heard? 5 or 6 good guys will pop up. We call those stories good guys. About 5 or 6 good guys will pop up. He got one story in particular where, he told a story about being in a situation. Shout out to the bro Jinx. Jinx the Juvie just came home. Langston Hughes, Tilden, Brownsville in general. You heard? But Jinx just came home. Welcome home, Jinx. But Son got a story that's Jinx related. You heard? That's Jinx related on the channel. That's Bonanzos. That could be turned into a movie, just an ill story, but we gonna get to that. Yep. But that Coming of Age Part 2 was bananas. Now, I named 4 songs so far. The 5th song I'm gonna name, Streets is Watching. Now let's keep it a whole buck. There's been a lot of songs in rap. There's been a lot of songs in hip-hop. A lot of street songs. A lot of hood songs. But I don't think nobody ever made a hood song that was so accurate with the mentality of street niggas. Like, that shit was a masterpiece. Streets is watching, blocks keep clocking, waiting for you to break, make your first mistake. Can't get caught with your feet up, gotta keep your heat up. Niggas want a piece of your Skrilla, so you gotta keep it real. Ooh. Some heavy bars on that Streets is watching. Burning out. If I shoot you, I'm brainless. If you shoot me, I'm famous. What you famous? What's a nigga to do when the streets is watching? Swoo, that boy was getting stupid on that shit. You heard? Broke niggas don't want no money. They just want to kill you for the name. Of course, that means plotting. Wise it up. Streets is watching. That shit was crazy. Yes. Jonathan Bell, I appreciate you. I know that ain't my bro, Jonathan Bell from the Ville. That's my son, Jonathan Bell from the Ville. Which Pammon. Blackmatic was really good. Emmanuel Rangel was really good. Yeah, that good garments is on deck. I got the whole sweatsuit on, man. You heard? I don't feel like standing up because I'm lazy, but, garments going down the side of the leg. Garments, it's just one of my little designs. I done came a long way. I'm a fast learner. So I done came a long way with this clothing shit. Like, this is one of my first designs, you heard? I ain't, it's hot. But compared to some of the new joints that I got floating and fluctuating, kind of the other joints I got fluctuating, slitting on that goodgarmentsnyc.com, Marie. It's different, bro. It's different. I got some things on there. You heard? My nigga D Gnosis in the building, bro. I'm in the podcast spot that me and you probably gonna mess with. We probably mess with the bigger joint though. Pause. You heard? But we probably mess with the bigger podcast room. I'm just saying here, really just testing out my camera. You heard? Because I ain't have nothing else better to do with myself today but come through here. You heard? But Gunny Walker in the building. If you never heard none of them Gunny Walker stories, type in St. Lad's Gunny Walker and hear some real crazy stories about, the U.S. Marines. That's all I'm saying. You heard? Like, some of these stories is bananas. We think we've been through some shit, but when you hear some of Gunny Walker's stories, that's all I got to say, baby. But shout out to the bro Gunny Walker. Gunny Walker, get at me for real though. We gotta do another episode, bro. You gotta let me know which story you want to tell, and we going in. You heard? Appreciate you. Big Pigeon, man. Big birds like Sesame Street. I mean, solid gold slice of bread on the neck. You heard? GGNYC hat. I'm gonna have that GGNYC hat next time y'all see me up in this spot though. Yours? But yeah, like, that's one of my designs though. But if you go to goodgarmentsnyc.com and check out the merchandise all together, you will see some fire, bro. Like, it's real when you look at your own clothes. I'll be like, damn, I want one of those. You heard? Like, I got to pay for these joints too. Like, you heard? I got to pay for them too. So it be hurting. I'll be making some shit I look at, I'll be like, damn, that joint nice, man. You heard? But I did order 3 units off the joint yesterday. Got one joint for my wife. I'm gonna need her to model that for me because I need that female fan base. But when I tell you I got these new Good Garments city hoodies out, call them shits the city hoodies. Them joints is bonanzos. Should say GGNY. And just when you thought I forgot the city, on the back that should just say city. Them shits is dumb. When you see how they look, the color scheme of those, I got the black and heliconia joint. I got the black and I can't be telling dudes my colors, man. Colors. I am a nightmare walking, psychopath stalking, king of the jungle like a gangster just walking, living life like a firecracker, quick as my fuse. Woo! That's going to be the next podcast, one of the next podcasts I do. My top 25 favorite West Coast or best West Coast songs of all time. You heard? That's one of them. I don't give a fuck what they say. That callers. That shit was dumb. You don't know me, fool. You disown me, cool. I don't need your assistance. Social preventions. Any problem I got, I just put my fist in. Woo! Peace is a dream, reality is a fight. Woo! Ice-T was talking spicy mayonnaise on that. You heard? That nigga was talking like a Taki on that, nigga. Spicy. But let's not get off topic. Because I'm a West Coast hip-hop connoisseur, goddammit. Don't think because I'm from Brooklyn that, I can't go toe-for-toe with the best West Coast hip-hop debaters in the game. That you could call me out. We could get busy. Because I was there. But anyway, man. back to the Jay-Z. I mentioned one. Come on, bro. I'm clicking off stuff. I mentioned one, two, three, four, five. All right, I mentioned five songs. The fifth song I'm gonna mention is that Where I'm From. Cough up a lung, where I'm from, Marcy, son, ain't nothing nice. Now I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, there's a lot of anthems in the game about niggas projects. The Bridge might be the most ultimate anthem ever made about a housing projects. The Bridge, the bridge, you heard? But after that, that cough up a lung, where I'm from, Marcy, son, ain't nothing nice. Travel many places, but I'm Brooklyn zone. Bro, that shit was crazy when that shit hit the streets of Brooklyn. We was hating. You heard? That shit was dope, but we was like, damn, Marcy came up with that one. Nerd. Now niggas gonna know Marcy more than any other projects in Brooklyn, cause it is fucking strong. That shit like cough up a lung, where I'm from, Marcy, son. That chorus ain't nothing nice. Travel many places, but I'm Brooklyn zone. That shit was slow and evil and demonic on them streets, nigga. You heard? We was like, damn, them niggas got an anthem. You heard? Shout out to that producer. I used to mess with the producer. He had that tag, Anthem. That was his name, Anthem. His tag was crazy. But that's why to this day people take pictures in front of Marcy Projects. You be seeing mad niggas, influencers and shit. They go in front of Marcy Projects and take a picture because that song is so legendary. It just made everybody want to know what's going on in Marcy Projects. Shout out to my bro Judo from Marcy Projects. I used to go out to Marcy Projects and chill up my son crib, my son Judo crib. Yes. And then I got family from Marcy all my life. Still got family in Marcy. I told you, my Brooklyn runs deep in these streets. You can't be nowhere from Brooklyn where your family and people don't know mine, because I'm everywhere in Brooklyn. You heard? I got family in Marcy. I got family. Let me stop talking. So I don't want to give y'all niggas the heads up. Just let y'all know my BK runs deep. Nigga, pause. But anyway, that where I'm from, joint, it was gruesome. It gave niggas from Marcy a sense of pride. So crazy. Niggas from Marcy niggas already got a sense of pride. But when that song came out and you went to Marcy, niggas was walking around with their chests out like this. Congratulations, nigga, for walking on Marcy grounds. You are officially on Marcy Project soil, the legendary Marcy Project. That's how niggas' attitude was when you came out to Marcy. They giving you the look like, you know where you at, nigga? This Marcy. You feel me? So, shout out to Marcy, but that where I'm from was serious. Now, next song I'm going to mention is a song that I love dearly. You Must Love Me, where he talked about how he shot his brother. Him and his brother got into a dispute because he was wearing his clothes outside. You heard? And it was deep psychological warfare because his son was going through so much shit. He probably felt like, I don't want to speak on some personal shit, but I understand when you got a relative in your family that's doing the wrong things, and you feel me, like you got a reputation, you trying to keep in the projects for being that, money getting. It's a deep song. It's a deep song, but You Must Love Me, where he talk about how he shot his own brother, and when his brother was in the hospital, he still requested to see son. You heard? And them niggas got past that. It's a tearjerker. But if you never heard that song, because some of y'all niggas is young, and y'all never really heard, some of these catalogs from these artists. So I got to do these type of shows to let people know. You heard? But You Must Love Me is another Jay-Z song that's bananas. You heard? Let me look at some of these comments right quick. TJ 1075 is pamping. Baby the Billy, what up? Ashley Chambers, which poppin'. Marcel Hundo, which poppin'. Big J 99, that's a fact, bro. Yeah, my G's. Let me see, man. Pepper, I see you in the building. Ryan Anthony was really good. See you in the Bills, Nilton. G.I. Joe Brooklyn was papping. But yeah, my G's, man, you heard. This is I'm doing this live, but I'm also recording this on a separate camera, so I'm gonna upload this as a regular episode also. You feel me? So you ain't got to watch live. I see somebody was like, "Yo, NFL Sunday." You could go watch NFL Sunday, my genie in the bottle. You heard? Because I'm gonna upload this anyway as a separate video. Yes. So niggas will be alright. But another song I'm gonna mention from Jay Z. I'm just giving y'all the top 25 of my personal songs that I feel is the most fire song Son ever made. Like I said, if I forgot something crucial, let me know. But also keep in mind that I tried to not put so many collabs. Boom. My next song that I'm going to mention. Nigga What, Nigga Who featuring Jaz-O. That song's so crazy, bro. You heard? Shout out to Jaz-O. That song is so crazy. Once you listen to it one time, it's stuck in your head for 90 days. You heard? You be mad waking up 6 in the morning like this. No, never heard of me. Worldwide when it's ain't third degree. Jaz-O went crazy on that. They both went crazy on that. They both went crazy on that. But Jaz-O lost his mind on that. I can't. I don't know all of those bars. Hold on, let me pull those bars up. Let me pull those Barringtons up. Hold on. Let me pull them bars up. Jaz-O. Hold on. Jaz-O. Nigga what? Lyrics. Because the verse he spit on that was. Come on, bro. You messing up my. You want to copyright my joint, my G's? Come on, my guys. Hold on. All right. This joint is bugging out. Let me pull this up, though. All right, let me see. Yo, this joint is bugging, bro. You playing the song? I don't. Oh, that's different. Spotify link. Miley. I wish I could play that song right now. I wish I could. They need to stop that. We should be able to play whatever songs we want to play on YouTube, and y'all compensate people with the, whatever, the spins. Get them the spins or whatever. Yersk. Like, come on, my G's. Just want to play music. Son said, yo, Jigga went crazy. Yo, motherfuckers want to act loco. Hit him with numerous shots from the fofo. Woo! Son was acting stupid on that. You already know. Stop your bullshit. Clock with the full clip. Motherfuckers better duck when the fool spit. One shot, make a nigga do a full flip. Son, them niggas was spitting too crazy on that to catch that flow like that. Jay was wildin'. You heard? Got a condo with nothing but condoms in the same place where the rhymes invented. So all I do is rap the sex. Imagine how it stroke. See, I was flowing on my last cassette. Woo! Son was acting dumb on that. Got a vendetta. Even though I've been better, left him in the cold with a thin sweater. Woo! That nigga what? Oh man. Where that jazz verse at, man? Where that jazzy verse, my dude? What's going on? Well, I know y'all just don't got J verse on here, my dude. Because y'all will be bugging. Y'all bugging out, bro. Yo, these dudes is bugging, bro. Niggas only got J bars on here. Wow. Niggas only got J bars. I gotta go to a different site. What madness is this? Wow. Dudes is crazy. Dudes got just a J version. Or was it two versions of that song? Was it a version of that song without Jazzo on it? Am I bugging out? Don't know how to carry a broad, want to marry a broad. Yo, bro. What is up, bro? I'm actually looking on these websites for Jazzo bars and I'm not seeing them. Niggas got several websites. Hold on, bro. Wow. Dudes is crazy. Wow. We're gonna have to come back to that Jazzo verse, man. But we all know Jazzo went crazy on that shit. But why his bars is not coming up on the nigga what lyrics site? I don't get that. Like I checked two whole sites already. Let me check this last third joint. Finally found a joint with his lyrics on it. Like this is ridiculous, bro. Niggas better put some respect on the bro name. Dante Walker, I appreciate that Snow Nation, bro. Like I ain't no expert in good and bad credit. I'm gonna keep it real with you. But I just got my motherfucking secure card, and I tell you this, I would never fuck. I can't wait to pay my credit off every month. Can't wait. I got a secure card right now. I can't wait to pay my credit bill every month. I'm looking forward to paying my credit bill. Yours. But anyway, Jazzo. Worldwide originators say word to me. The population holler certainly. Hold on. Third degree. Burn a nigga like a third degree. See me shine so bright. Nigga, I'm my light. I can't, this nigga flow gets out of control, bro, so I can't really catch his bars the way he be doing it. But he went crazy on this. Stop chirping, B. Heavyweights light work to me. Father Time and his rappers. Father Time and his rappers. Ain't nobody hurting me. What? Ooh, they got mad wrong lyrics up in here. This must be the clean version. Cut a sucker like surgery. Nah, I can't even mess some bars up like that. But he was blacking on this. Son was acting crazy on this. The originator. Nigga what? Nigga who? That shit was different, bro. And I love that song because I love to see that, they came together later on in the future because, they was rocking together with music since Hawaiian Sophie and all of that. Dudes always got jokes about Hawaiian Sophie, but Hawaiian Sophie was a fire joint. We loved Hawaiian Sophie when it came out back in the days. You heard? Niggas had some big Hercs on in that video. You heard? We from Brooklyn. All we saw was the big Hercs. It's hot. But anyway, for them to see later on in the future them come and make a mad crazy hit song together like that was fire. That was fire. But that Jazzo verse that he spit on that, Jazzo spit a whole bunch of verses. I have the honor to actually have a song with a Jazzo verse on it. Rest in peace to bro Big Bob. You heard producer Big Bob from out of Canada. He produced that joint. He the one who got the Jazzo verse. Me, him, and the bro Joe Dancer. You heard, you could look that joint up. It's called nigga like me, my memory gone. But it's me, Joe Dancer, and Jazzo. Oh, Street Certified. That's the name of the joint. Jaz-O went crazy on that. You heard? Type in Jaz-O St. Laz. Jaz-O went crazy on that. But anyway, back to the playlist of my top 25 Jay-Z songs. So, nigga what, nigga ho. Nigga what, nigga who. Boom. My next joint that I'm going to mention, it was all good just a week ago. Funny what? 7 days could change. A stand-up nigga, now you sit down to aim. Used to have a firm grip, now you dropping names. Shit was all good just a week ago. Nigga said, the lawyer I retained said you leaking some things. All that from a week in a bing. That song was deep, bro. You heard? Son was dropping some heavy jewels on that shit, my nigga. Nigga said, it wasn't quite my partner. I hit him off my feet. What he said, nigga was like, nigga said, what he said? Told him put away some money, now you crying for bail. 17 and I'm holding on to close to a meal. I could get my low trial come around on a pill. Had niggas thinking I was from uptown for real. But I was down to ill. Like a Brooklyn nigga. Straight out of Brownsville. Down and dirty, down to fight the round 30. So, you know, once a Brownsville nigga heard those bars right there, once a nigga from the Ville heard Jay-Z say that, like a Brooklyn nigga, straight out of Brownsville, that shit just defined a Brownsville nigga so perfectly. Down and dirty, down to fight the round 30. Brings a goddamn tear to my eyes when I hear such acknowledgement and it's not the word I'm looking for. Such praise is not the word I'm looking for. Such understanding of my section of Brooklyn. But I was down to ill, like a Brooklyn nigga, straight out of Brownsville. Let me explain that bar to y'all niggas. You heard? Brownsville, we different. It's 18 housing projects in a row. So when we come out the house, it's like you stepping in the motherfucking Vietnam out that bitch, you heard? You 14, you 13, niggas already throwing a hammer in your hand, my nigga. You heard? This shit is like Vietnam. You heard? Especially in them 80s and 90s. That's all I'm saying. You heard? So when a nigga say, like a down and dirty, we starving. Brownsville's one of the highest concentrations of people that live under the poverty, belt, what you call it? The poverty line. You heard? We a blacklisted neighborhood in the city. We heard 85% of the motherfuckers that live there, public assistance, maybe less. You heard, but it was heavy public assistance game out there in Brownsville. You feel what I'm saying? Very, very, very small percentage of, I'm not gonna say a very small percentage, but a small percentage of hardworking people there is hardworking people in Brownsville. But we are, if you could look this up, yourself. We are one of the most concentrated areas of poverty in the city. You heard? Like motherfuckers who live under the poverty line, a lot of them live in Brownsville. You heard? So when you say down and dirty, down to fight the round 30, we don't give up. We don't give up because we don't have nothing. We already at the bottom. Where else can we go? You feel me? We gonna go under the bottom. Where we really from? Under the bottom anyway. You heard? So those bars hold dear to a Brownsville nigga forever. And it get us hyped when we hear it. So that's definitely one of the top 25 Jay-Z songs. But anyway, I gotta take a sip of the drink before I mention this next song. Gotta take a sip of the drink before I mention this next song. That goddamn intro to the Dynasty. The theme song to The Sopranos. Keys of the piano got a strange way of seeing things, like Stevie Wonder with beads under the do-rag. Knowing I could go just switching a spare on a highway to life. On a highway of life, nigga, to sharpen my sight. Gained senses ever since I was a teen on the benches. Anytime somebody like Enos was mentioned, I would turn green. Come on, I'm wilding, bro. Me in the trenches. Not worry about expenditures. Hold on. Anytime somebody like Enos was mentioned, me and him living adventurous, not worried about expenditures. I'm breaking temperatures below zero. No hero, no father figure. You got to pardon the nigga, but I was starving, my nigga, and the weight loss of my figure starting to darken my heart, about to get to my liver. Ooh! Ooh! That was crazy, nigga. That nigga said, I'm breaking temperatures below zero. No hero, no father figure. You got to pardon the nigga. But I was starving, my nigga. And the weight loss of my figure starting to darken my heart, about to get to my liver. I don't know the whole verse by heart, but I know he said, but I'm gonna get richer by any means, like that thing that Malcolm palmed in the picture. Never read the Quran or Islamic scriptures. The only Psalms I read was on the arms of my niggas. Woo! Woo! That boy was acting stupid. He was acting stupid on that. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna get to these songs because I gotta wrap it up and get to the next subject matter. But that intro to that. Me and my ex-broad, we used to just wake up. She used to have to go to work in the morning. I had to go to wherever I had to go to, parole, whatever I was doing. We used to just wake up to that shit every day. You heard? That was the motivation music. Get up, take a shower, cook breakfast. We used to just wake 7 in the morning, turn that shit on. The theme song to The Sopranos. Oh, God. That shit crazy. If you ain't never hear that intro to the Dynasty album, just get that shit and click on the first song. That shit is nuclear. All right, let me see what else is on this playlist. That Jigga, what's my motherfucking name, my nigga, and who I'm rolling with, huh? Yo, listen, bro. Quick paint of a picture, like I said. I just finished doing 6 years in a state prison. I done been in some of the worst spots. Comstock. You motherfucking Clinton. I was only in Key Block and Clinton, though, you heard? But I've been in some spots, though, god damn it. You heard? I done passed through Auburn, Franklin. I done been in Green. You heard? I done been in Washington. You heard? You ain't never see my story. How niggas jumped me in Washington and all that. He tried to bang me up while I was taking a shit. Niggas ran up in there with the ice pick. I told that story. But I'm gonna tell y'all something about this song. I'm gonna tell y'all. Come on, bro. My fucking playlist at? But yeah, so boom. So You know, I done been through some jails. I done did a nice long bed. Nice 6 years in the penitentiary. I've been out the streets for a long time. I'm trying to keep up on hip hop as much as I could possibly keep up on hip hop while I'm in the penitentiary. You heard? I get an album when I can get my hands on an album. And, you know, somebody said this on an interview the other day. I forgot who it was, but somebody said this on an interview and it was mad deep. They was like, we tried to get our music in the jails because we know people in the jails. I think it was Saigon. It was Saigon. He was like, because people in jail, they really listen to an album. And that's a whole fact because niggas in the niggas don't got no distractions. You listening to that music, you are in a movie. You use that shit to escape and get out of the penitentiary. So you be looking for an album that's like a movie. So when you throw that shit on, you're not in jail no more. So that's how we really listen to albums and music in the penitentiary. But when I finished my bid and I came home, when I was on my last, 40, 50 days up north or whatever, and they sent me to Queensboro Correctional Facility. Shout out to the bro Pop from Pink Houses, the CEO of Project Heat, the web series. Shout out to the bro Pop. Shout out to the bro Sim. You heard, shout out to my bro Black Seed, shout out to the bro Twin from Far Rockaway, and everybody else that was in, my nigga Stressed Out, bringing the best out, my nigga Kasim from Mount Vernon, and everybody else that was family inside Queensboro Correctional Facility. But Queensboro had a holding area for people that was about to go home. One side of it is work release, and the other side of it is just motherfuckers about to go home. You heard? So it's just like a regular jail, except for ain't nobody trying to get into nothing because everybody going home. So niggas ain't trying to fight, argue, none of that. So boom, I remember the first day where I went to the yard. When I got to the jail, niggas was like, yo, you went to the yard yet? I'm like, nah, I ain't go to the yard. What's why I was popping? It's like, yo, niggas got Hot 97 playing in the yard. I said, what? Now, the Hot 97 didn't exist when I got locked up. It wasn't no all hip-hop radio station. It was KISS and BLS. So now they got Hot 97. This is our first time. We in the mountains. We don't get Hot 97. We heard about it, though, and read about it. So now we in the town. This is going to be our first time hearing Hot 97. You heard? I go to the yard that night, because we got to the jail probably at midday or whatever, and I go to the yard that night. And you got to cut through the gym and the weight area to go to the yard. And then when you go to the yard, it's like a little small-ass space that remind me of the old side in Green, but it's even smaller than that, right? So, nigga, I stepped in that yard. You heard? I just came from 4 hours away probably, right? When I stepped in that yard and that New York oxygen was circulating around that yard and all I smelled was Chinese food because there's a Chinese restaurant right across the street from Queensboro. You heard? So as soon as I stepped in, I just smelled that, that unmistakable smell of Chinese fried chicken. That shit just hit my nose. I was like, ooh, what the fuck? And the first song I heard when I stepped in that yard, Back on the Block, Jay-Z, motherfucker from the Rock went solo on your ass, but I'm still the same, Brooklyn. And I heard that beat, Jigga. Now remember, I'm a rapper. I'm coming home to rap. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna take over this shit, nigga, word to my mother. Son, I heard that Swiss Beats beat. That's when a certain keyboard had just came out in the game called a Trinity. It was later named the Triton. Yamaha made this shit. Trinity was the first one, I think, and then it turned into the Triton, right? I had the Triton. In my crib, I bought that shit. I paid $2,500 for it, I think, or something like that, 2,000 something for it. Brolic shit. But when the Trinity first came out, it had a bunch of new sounds in the sound bank that had never been in keyboards before. So dudes like Swiss Beats was learning how to make beats on shit like the Trinity, and he was playing with the motherfucking sounds. So the sound of that record, Jigga, what's my motherfucking name, my nigga, and who I'm rolling with. Yo, that joint right there, bro, The way that shit was sounding, I would never forget it, bro. The way that shit was sounding, being my first day in 6 years, stepping back into New York oxygen and hearing Hot 97 for the first time in my life, bro, and it was nighttime. So you know how night, and I came home when it was almost summer, so it was getting warm. It was warm outside. When I stepped in that warm summery yard and I smelled that Chinese restaurant food, and I just heard that Jigga, my nigga, I was like, oh shit, this nigga putting out Mars and Saturn sounds. You heard that shit sounded like something from another galaxy. When Swiss Beats first came out, them beats was sounding like something from another galaxy. But that particular beat, my nigga, that Jigga my nigga beat, that shit clobbered me, my nigga. That shit clobbered me. I was like, oh God, what is niggas? What am I stepping back into the streets to? I'm like, yo, this nigga Jay-Z is a mad scientist. Like, what would make you make a song like this, my nigga? That shit had me like, wow. You heard that shit just, when I heard that shit, I just was like, yo, this nigga done dominated the rap game completely. You heard, like, it's no sound fucking with that right now. Like, that shit was so futuristic. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, bro, it was serious. All right, another song I'm gonna mention. See, I got certain songs on this list that I just know is some of his best work, but they're not, songs that I've listened to a billion times. Because there's some Jay-Z songs that I ain't listened to a billion times, but I heard them and was like, nigga, that's some of your best work right there. You heard? So I still need to become a little bit more familiar with those particular songs, but I know just from hearing them for 30 seconds that that's some of your best work that you ever did in your life. You feel me? Another song I'm gonna mention. Brooklyn's Finest, of course, featuring B.I.G. They was just shooting bars back and forth to each other like savage nomads from the land of savage nomadia. You heard? Like, they was going crazy on that joint. Brooklyn's Finest, like, they was acting stupid. Him and Jay, I'm just happy that Big and Jay got to make one good real song together that will live forever, where they both was just unmatched lyrically. They was just out of control, and they spit some of the best bars ever on that Brooklyn's Finest. Like I said, I'm gonna try to make this a little faster because I want to get to the next topic. You heard? But Big Pimpin' is another song featuring UGK. Like I said, I'm not trying to name a million collabs, but that Big Pimpin', NYC, yo, listen, my nigga. When Son came out with that record, Big Pimpin', I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. He started the South. He made the South start trending. Niggas knew about the South, but niggas wasn't South crazy. And the South ain't have a lane in the game like that until Jay-Z came out with Big Pimpin' and did that video in Trinidad, I think. My dude, that shit was so crazy. Big Pimpin', spending G's, we doing Big Pimpin' on the young ladies, we doing, and Son went crazy. Everybody went crazy on that joint, bro. Bun B went bananas, Pimp C, Jay went crazy. The video was one of the best videos we ever saw in hip hop. This shit was bananas. Let's keep it real. That video was so epic and bananas. It just was, you had never heard no shit like that before. Son, that shit was bananas. Hold on, let me fix this other camera. My other camera is overheating, I think. That's why a lot of dudes don't mess with this camera, bro. It overheats, and you heard the battery life is type Suspito. I'm gonna put this camera back on in a minute. But Yeah, that Big Pimpin', man, when he came out with that Big Pimpin', it kind of opened up the world. It kind of opened up dudes to liking the South. Like, you heard niggas like, yo, you know what? We bugging. We got to start listening to these South niggas. If they spitting shit like Pimp C and UGK, like, we got to give these niggas an ear. You feel what I'm saying? So niggas started giving them niggas an ear heavily. And if you do the knowledge to the whole shit, you will see that after Big Pimpin' came out is when the South started to come up and rap, my nigga. That's a whole fact. Like Diddy started fucking with what's the Boys in the Hood, and Jeezy started coming out. Only that shit came from that UGK record, bro. It just moved the needle for the South. Not trying to give New York the credit for that because shit, when the South took over, a lot of New York niggas starved. You heard? Niggas had to come in the game like King of New York. He was like, listen, from now on, if a Nickelback gets sold in the park, I want in. You guys got fat while everybody starved on the streets. It's my turn. You think you're gonna live long enough to spend that money, you fucking hump? If any of you are tired of getting ripped off by guys like that, come to the Plaza Hotel. You're all welcome. You're all welcome. Craziest scene ever, nigga. Craziest scene. The science behind that scene, you gotta do the knowledge to it. Like, shit was deep, bro. I researched it more, and now I forgot some of my research, but he said, you fucking hump. If I'm not mistaken, that was a racial slur for Irish people or for, I can't remember what race of people that was a racial slur for, but it was ill because the rest of the organized crime families hated Frank White because he dealt with black people. You heard? That's when he was like, yo, I don't talk to nigga lovers. Remember when he was like, yo, Frank White want to talk to you? He said, I don't talk to nigga lovers. That's what made Frank come over there like, yo, hold on, you talking about my sons? Yeah. So it was the illest movie because, you know, we had never seen a crime movie that, you know, white and black motherfuckers was fucking with each other in them streets. But the science behind that was, you know, the Irish, I think son was supposed to be Irish. I don't know if he was supposed to be Irish or Jewish in that movie. But both the Irish and the Jews, they had their time of extreme organized crime in New York City. So the movie was just a deep ass movie, King of New York. You heard? But after that Big Pimpin', shit got ugly in New York. Another song I'm gonna mention, This Can't Be Life with Beanie Siegel and Scarface. Like, that song touched my heart. Son spoke about his pops. Now, I mean, like, that shit was, oh my God. You heard niggas touch some shit got touched on that song. One of the greatest pieces of hip hop artistry ever put together on a mic. One of the greatest songs ever recorded. This Can't Be Life. You heard? Everybody, Scarface, Beans, everybody went crazy on that joint. You feel what I'm saying? But that's a legendary joint. Love it to death. Stay listening to it. The Takeover. I got to have Takeover on there because son was just in a zone. You heard it caused ether. It caused ether later on. But the song, the beat on that shit was just nuts. The Takeover, the way, so like son just was at the top of the game, he attacked his enemies. That shit crazy. It's a historic event in hip hop because son, niggas wasn't like, it was a lot of subliminals being said. Like, if you was listening to hip hop at these times, if you was listening, hold on, let me plug my phone, my joint. This shit is, see, this camera right here is not dependable though, bro. When it gets hectic, this shit dies out after an hour. Like, come on, my dude, I need to be able to film for more than an hour, bro. But hold on. But yeah, like, listen, Jay-Z, bro, If you was listening to hip hop at that time, it was a lot of subliminal messages. Like Nas was throwing shots at Jay-Z way before Ether, and the takeover was Jay-Z responding to the shots that were being thrown. Because Nas was throwing shots on that underground, and they was throwing shots at each other on the underground, and people that really, really knew, we knew them shots. You heard? We knew them shots. So we was paying attention, like, yo, these niggas got tension. And when it went down, it really wasn't surprising. But when Son came out with that takeover, it was like, yo, listen, man, I'm bombing first. Like Pac said, man, plan, plot, strategize, and bomb first. Son ain't wait for niggas to attack him. He just attacked niggas like, yo, fuck it. You heard him at the top of the game right now. Let me just smash all my enemies and destroy them. You heard? And, Son put out what he put out. Performed that shit at Summer Jam, put dudes on the screen. It was ugly. But definitely one of Jay-Z's best songs ever. Another song I'm gonna mention. Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Ain't no love in the heart of town. That joint was crazy. When we first heard that sample was unstoppable. Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Woo! Every rapper alive was mad. Like, damn, I wish I had that sample. Why didn't I think about that sample? That shit was like crazy. First the Fat Boys break up. Now every time I wake up, somebody got a problem with Hove. That shit was crazy. You heard? How did they go start this shit? First the Fat Boys break up. Then every time I wake up, woo. That shit was different, bro. It was different. Another song I'ma name. Song Cry. Wow. Song Cry was crazy. I spoke about that the other day when we was on that Philly joint, but let's just say Song Cry was one of the most realest songs ever made, where a man poured his heart out to a woman in these New York City streets. Sure? So if you ain't familiar with that song, you better go listen to that, because it's one of the greatest Jay-Z songs ever made in history. Next song. Renegade, never been afraid to say it. A lot of dudes, Nas said that shit. Eminem murdered you on your own shit. You know what I mean? But I'm going to keep it real with you. Jay-Z ain't get murdered on that Renegade song. Jay-Z spit some real dope, dumb shit on that. You heard? How dare you rate music with thugs with nothing relate to it? I bring them closer to not you. Woo! Nigga said, oh my God. Nigga said, bring them back to the block where they pop toasters and they live with their moms, drop rock. How you gonna say that though? Nigga said, bring them back to the block where they pop toasters and they live with their moms. Woo! Woo! Child support knocks. No, he's not around. Come on, son was ducking strays. Just read a magazine that fucked up my day. Son spit some shit on that, my G's. And he took a shot at the Source magazine just because Eminem was on the track and niggas had that beef brewing with him and Ray Benzino. Ew. Eminem went crazy on that joint. Mr. This is always been Renegade. Son went crazy. Them niggas went crazy, but it is a myth that Jay-Z didn't black out on that song, because he went crazy on that song. Yep. But anyway, my G's, that Renegade is bananas. Another song I'm gonna name that I love. That Lyrical Exercise. Ooh wee. That boom, boom. That's some of the best bars. Like if you never heard that song, Jay-Z Lyrical Exercise, that's some of the best bars Son ever spit in his life. Period. That is some of the best bars Son ever spit in his life on anything. You heard? So if you ain't familiar with that song, get familiar. Put in Jay-Z Lyrical Exercise. That shit different. All right, another song I got on there. I show you how to do this, son. Bananas. That's another song that I may not be as familiar as I should be with that song and knowing every word of the song the way I know most of the words to all the other songs. But just one listen to that, the first time I even ever heard it, I was like, okay, this is Summer Sun's best work ever. You feel me? And it is. I mentioned Dope Man again already. Uh, what I missed? Hold on. Rock Boys in the building tonight. That shit was superhero wildness. One of the best Jay-Z songs. That shit was dumb. That Snoopy track is fire. Definitely. A lot of these great songs. Ooh, hold on. Hold on. Let me listen to this right quick low. Let me listen. Let's make sure I got the right. Oh no, I got the wrong song on this. Another song I meant to have on this. I'm about to sign off and come back on and start a whole new live right quick to do my next topic. Even though my phone is dead, I mean my other joint is dead. I'm gonna have to do it with this phone. I ain't gonna be able to do that either. But I think I named all 25. Let me see. Oh, I had a wrong joint on here. I had him and Nas Success, but what I meant to have was Black Republican. I feel like a Black Republican. Money is still coming. I don't know if that's a Nas song or a Jay-Z song. Correct me. But that Black Republican, ooh, that's one of my favorite joints. You heard? I stay listening to that fire. You heard? Nas went crazy on that though. Nas went crazy on that though. I'ma keep it real. Nas showed his natural black ass on that. Yep. But yeah, I think that's my top 25 right there. You heard? So I'm gonna go down the list one more time. I said Dead Prez, The Evils, Coming of Age 1 and 2, Streets is Watching, Where I'm From, You Must Love Me, Nigga What, Nigga Who, Shit Was All Good a Week Ago, Jay-Z and Nas, Black Republicans, Rock Boys, The Intro to the Dynasty, Jigga My Nigga, Brooklyn's Finest, Big Pimpin', This Can't Be Life, The Takeover, Heart of the City, Song Cry, Renegade, Lyrical Exercise, Show You How to Do This, Son, motherfucking Dope Man, and then hold on, what's this? I'm bugging out. I put it on the list for a reason. Oh, this joint. It's called the joint with that. You know that joint right there. It says Blueprint 2, but I didn't know that that was the name of the actual song. But this is some of Jay-Z's greatest work right here. You heard? Hold on. Unleash the flutes on them, Guru. That shit crazy. Just the beat alone is just you just go into the catalog of your best work, my nigga. When you want a beat, sometimes a beat could be so crazy, I don't want to hear nothing else. Just throw it in the catalog. You feel what I'm saying? That's how that joint was. But like I said, it's another 25 songs that I probably need to mention. You feel what I'm saying? I know I didn't mention every song that I needed to mention. But those is 25 for your ass right there. Those is 25 for your ass. That at least the flutes on that shit just it's just too ugly. It's too ugly. You heard? Yeah, I was gonna put that can I get a what and that mad shit. It's mad shit. But like I said, I try not to put too many collabs because it's unfair. But yeah, that breathe easy. Boom, boom, boom. Breathe easy. That's the lyrical exercise joint. Shit, crazy. Some of the best work Son ever did. Alberto Rojas was popping. Peace, Hamilton Heights, Sugar Hill and Building was popping. Rico Shines was really good. Cold Dirty Bastard, What's Really Hood. Michael Laws, what up? I'm about to sign off and come right back on for this next subject that I'm doing. You heard? I just want to have these as separate lives. You heard? But that kind of concludes my top 25 Jay-Z songs of all times. I'm gonna sign back on in 2 minutes. You heard?